Hey friends, happy Friday. Welcome back to the channel and welcome all of our newbies. We have quite a bit of new subscribers recently and I'm so glad you are here. Welcome to the Hive. We are going to just kind of dive right in. It is Friday the 26th at 2:30 p.m. I guess I do have a quick update first, then we'll dive into the reading and where we're going today, but update on the boo baskets. Yesterday was crazy for me. I had a lot going on with work. And Wednesday night I planned to prepare the boo baskets, but that got crazy for me also with preparing for my meeting on Thursday. And last night I was just beat. Like I couldn't bring myself to do it last night, although I really wanted to. Today, after I pick up my son and we run a couple errands, I will come back and get everybody situated with the boo baskets and who you guys will be gifting. I haven't forgot about anybody yet. I know people have been emailing me saying, hey, just want to make sure you included me. I haven't heard from you. There was at least 5 or 6 emails like that this morning and I'm like, dang, you guys are on it. You guys knew you guys would be getting an email on Thursday with your boo buddy, and for those of you who didn't get it, you guys are eager to send out your boo baskets and I'm so excited that you guys are so excited. So hang tight. It'll be this evening when I put it all together, so you may get an email from me by tomorrow morning or late this evening, but yes, by this weekend, for sure by tomorrow, you guys will have a name and an address of somebody to send a little boo gift to. So thank you to all of you who chose to participate with us. It was so much fun. I think we have close to 30, if not 30 people participating in terms of baskets that are going out. There's a handful of people who chose to do multiple. I myself am doing multiple. So altogether, I think there's going to be about 30 boo baskets going out over the week. So that's super exciting and so much fun. I am going to do this again for Christmas and we'll do like a little secret Santa with the Hive here. So stay tuned for details if you guys like the idea of getting a random Hive member to shop for and send a little gift to secretly. I love it. It's so much fun. I had so much fun putting together these boo baskets and I hope you guys did too. That being said, will you guys please, when you start receiving your boo baskets in the mail, will you please take pictures and post them on my community tab here so that those who weren't able to, for whatever reason, whoever wasn't able to participate can still share in the excitement and the love, and then maybe we'll get a few more people to participate for Christmas once everybody gets all hyped up about all the cool goodies going out. So yeah, if you guys receive a boo basket, snap a picture. It doesn't have to be with your face, you know, whatever you want to do, just post a picture, post it in the community tab. I think that'll be so fun for all of us to see what everybody else put together, and I'm so looking forward to that. So I cannot wait. All right, guys. Charlie Kirk, we have some energy on the table. I wasn't sure if I was going to try to channel him myself or if we were just going to do another energy reading. Whoa, hold up before we get there. Candace Owens, what a freaking trip. I'm kind of a little bit mind blown, to be honest. Like I think I've talked to a few of you about it in the comments, and a few of you are picking up on it too, like, oh my god, Candace just said exactly what you said, or you know, you did it again, you did a reading and then Candace did a live the next day and talked about exactly what you were talking about in your reading. I'm like, I know, it's wild. Like it's literally back to back. Like I'll post, Candace goes live, I'll post, Candace goes live, I'll post, Candace goes live, and literally every time she opens her mouth, she will directly mention something I said in the reading that I have no clue about, you guys. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know Charlie from anybody. I wasn't a follower of his. I didn't follow him on TikTok or know about, you know, everything. If anything, my son knows more about him than anything because he's a teenager. He's on TikTok. He had his own opinions of Charlie, and you know, my son was the one who told me, hey, Charlie Kirk, you know, got shot today. And I'm like, but he's always telling me like, oh, another school got shot, oh, this happened. So I'm like, oh cool, like who's Charlie Kirk? Like I'm so disconnected with politics, guys. Like I think it's just all a sham, and I haven't aligned with a party in so long. Like to me, just following it just doesn't make any sense, to worry and stress and debate and hate people over something that just is complete bullshit in my opinion. So no, I don't follow politics. I have personal moral and spiritual beliefs, but they don't align with either party, so it's not worth it for me to get into what I believe. I didn't know who he was. My son is the one that even showed me the video, and then once I seen how people were celebrating this tragic thing, I'm like, I don't care who he was or what he stood for. Like this is bad, this is evil, this is just bad at the core of what it is. And that was my stance on it, period. Like it's tragic for the innocent people that had to witness it, just for my son to have to witness it, for me and my son to be having this conversation about why people with beliefs should not be gunned down on college campuses. Like all of that combined was just where my stance was. It wasn't because I knew anything about anything or had any sort of like personal feeling about it other than what is just morally right? So the more I dug into the energy, seeing the world and how we were all mourning, and it was just like, whoa, this is something bigger. This is something spiritual. There's something bigger going on here than just some young kid who has political views who got shot in front of a bunch of people. It's so much deeper than that. I had no idea. I was hesitant to touch the energy because of how much hate people were getting. The second I posted the picture about like, just, this is wrong. We should all be feeling bad about what happened to Charlie. And then like just immediately saw my subscribers dropping, like literally every time I refreshed. I'm like, wait, what the hell? Who is this guy? What is happening? And then you log on to social media and you see all these people celebrating. And then you also see people losing their jobs because of it. And then, you know, the whole Jimmy Kimmel thing. I mean, it was just like a domino effect. And I'm like, what in the hell? So I decided, okay, I wasn't going to touch it. I'm like, heck no, like I'm not about to join that mob of haters who are going to come after me. And like, but then the more I really sat with that, I'm like, no, there's something here, right? So anyways, bring us to present day. I decided to go ahead and kind of feel around this energy just because I myself was like, there's definitely something here, right? I didn't think we would be going in the direction that it ended up going with my last reading about the conspiracies with the Masons and all of that. I never intended to go that way. As you can tell from my early post, my very first reading, that was not top of my mind. This all just kind of organically unfolded. I went to my guides about it. I prayed. I worked through the Holy Spirit. I asked them, is this, you know, something we should be looking at? Should we go down this conspiracy rabbit hole? Spirit said, yes. Continue to show us this is all smoke and mirrors. Nothing is as it seems. There's weird things going on. And then it just continued to develop. And I feel like Spirit is continuing to put me on a path that is showing me things. And the reason why I know this to be true, and that, you know, whoever thinks I'm out here just kind of writing, I forget how my son calls it. What does he say? Where you're like trying to pick up on other people's whatever. You guys know what I'm trying to say. So it wasn't just because it was popular in the media or this is whatever. I really feel like we've been given nuggets because it's something important to be talking about. And it's been confirmed kind of like almost immediately, right? So with Candace Owens, I was like, wow, she's really speaking out about, you know, when she first started talking, she just said something's not right here. She was calling out the blatant cover up, right? She wasn't out there saying what she thinks, who she thinks. So that's where it started with Candace, was like, I'm not buying the narrative. Something's not right here. We're going to investigate. If you think I'm not investigating, like, you got another thing coming. So that's kind of where she started, right? And then I would do a reading. I'm like, oh, okay, is Candace in danger for like really calling out certain people? And more so just because she was asking questions. She was asking the hard questions. She was getting millions of views on that first video. I was like, okay, is this going to put her in danger? Even in that very first reading, I was telling you guys, you know, I can see here that she's hired people to protect her. She's like upped her security in some way, or she's paying people to protect her and her family. I mean, that so clearly came out. There was stuff about like weird things with money, or just, you know, people trying to cancel her, canceling sponsors, or, you know, whatever, things like that, right? Maybe even going as far as in the behind the scenes things, like her having trouble selling her house in the future, or, you know, just ways people can pull strings to just make your life not as easy as it could be without actually like putting a bullet in your neck. So I didn't see that with her, and I could see that she had hired security. And you guys might be thinking, okay, well, duh, of course she did. Like, she watched this happen to her friend. She knows what she's talking about. But guys, she came out and said she hired security a week before Charlie got shot. She's like, I had a bad feeling. I went out, you know, she pulled her kids out of school. She said she hired more security or upped her security, and she was feeling unsettled. So it's like, she basically came on and confirmed that part of the reading, which was freaking awesome. And then I was I forget what order it was, but another thing that I was saying was like, this came from the inside. This was definitely somebody he considered a friend, somebody in his circle. And then I kept getting like the work reference cards. I said somebody that works at Turning Point, somebody within the organization that would also be considered like a friend to him. It wouldn't just be like high school best friend, you know, it was like somebody that would have ties to the organization. Candace never straight said that. You know, she was kind of alluding to different countries and different donors with a lot of money. Then she came out and said, I think somebody inside of that organization betrayed him, after I had called it out right before that, right? Then we were doing, which one was it? Was it the conspiracy? Yeah, when I was reading, I think it, how many have I done? Was it the conspiracy with Erica where the beehive came out? Yeah, because it was this Candace in Danger and then the Erica reading. So then I started reading and we got the Hive, the Gate, the Demon, and the Angel. And then with the Angel, we were seeing like the eternal child, things about children. And then Candace straight up comes out and says that she pulled her children out of school that same week. At the end of, I think it was August into early September, she was talking about beehives and why are people talking about bees and honey and like, this makes no sense. And then the very first card out of that conspiracy with the Shadows of the Middle Ages was the bee. And then I was like, okay, isn't there an organization within the Masons that like references the hive? And then I found out like the beehive is actually rooted in Masonry from forever. It is like a part of their identity, this hive mind. But then with that devil and angel, the light versus the good, with the angel, we had the energy of the children. Then she started talking about needing to protect her children from the school system, all those things. And then in the reading before, I think it was the Smoke and Mirrors reading. I don't recall, but I said they're going to like do an audit or somebody's checking the books or there's something funny with the money inside of Turning Point, or there's like a leak of money or they don't know where the money is going, or there's weird things with the money like going offshore, or like somebody is... Why am I losing words today, guys? Basically stealing from the company, or there was weird things with the money. And then that was the last thing she just said, I think yesterday on her live, was the money is funny, or funny money, something like that internally, and that Charlie was conducting an investigation and hired or promoted this guy and that he was going to start looking into it literally a week before he got shot. Like I said all of that in just the couple readings that I've done, and then Candace back to back is hitting on all these things with the money being betrayed from the inside, the beehives. Like how random that Candace Owens would get on and be like, I had a bad feeling, and then people around me are talking about bees. This doesn't make sense. I pulled my children out of school, beefed up my security, and then it's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And it's so awesome. I love that you guys are able to see this with me. And a lot of you are seeing it too, because you guys will come back and comment. Like I'll be watching it and I'm like, oh my God. And then I'll come to my comments and you guys will be like, did you guys just hear what Candace said? And I'm like, hell yeah, you guys are picking it up. You're seeing it. And I love that you guys get to see it like play out immediately right in front of your faces along with me. It's just so cool. So anyways, we're back on the money path with Charlie. There's something big about the money with what happened here. We already see there's weird stuff going on with Erica. The more that I am scrolling on YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, I'm seeing that past interviews with her, she also has a gold, not just the G on her finger, because she wore the M to the funeral. But if you look at most of the videos she's done, she's only wearing the gold G. And if you look at Mason rings, they're thick, they're gold, and they're circular. So there's something about even the way it's designed. It could have just been a giant G in diamonds. It could have been a G necklace. No, she wears a thick banded circular gold ring with a G encrusted into it. It's more than just the initial. You guys have to look a little deeper at things. And Candace, if you, for whatever reason, watch this, I'm not even going to say that. Disregard what I was going to say to Candace, because I already feel intuitively that she is side-eyeing Erica and that she's not buying it either, but she's being very careful not to piss her off or to make an enemy of her, because she wants Erica to think that she has her back and she fully supports her. But 1000% just watching her and I mean, hi Candace, I guess I just kind of cut off. If you ever do watch this, hi, I love you, you're beautiful and you're brave, and yeah, that would be so cool if you ever stumbled across any of my videos about this. But I just get this feeling, guys, that she's not 100% convinced either. I think the more she digs into this, and I don't think she'll ever say it, because there's certain things we as nobody psychics, where the world already looks at us like we're batshit crazy. It's okay for me to come on here and say these types of things, but Candace has to also be very rooted in logic and proof. And yes, she can have conspiracy, but it has to be something she can get to the bottom of. She's not going to be able to openly say certain things that somebody like myself would be able to say. But as an intuitive, I can look at somebody and know if they are 1000% supportive, and I just don't buy it. For some reason, I do think, I'll say this, I think Candace is suspicious. I don't think she knows for sure, and she's being way extra careful to not insinuate in any type of way that she's even questioning Erica. But I think the further that she digs into what she's trying to find out about Charlie, there's just something she's going to come across that's going to turn her stomach inside out. She's going to be like, oh my fucking God, oh my God, like this whole freaking thing was a lie. And then I don't think she's going to be able to say it, because then she's really going to turn people who are rooting for her like, oh, you've gone too far. Like there's a tipping point to supporting her and wanting to find the truth, to going one step too far and losing a lot of support and getting a lot more hate. And it will be when she chooses to open her eyes to Erica Kirk. And I don't think she'll do it publicly, but I think she will find something out that will just make her go, that doesn't feel right in my gut. And she's going to pull this string, and she's going to find out more than she wants to know. And she's going to have to live with that. And she's going to have to cry about that on her own. And she's going to have to reconcile that spiritually. But I don't think she will come head to head with this in terms of publicly going against Erica. But I feel like she's already starting to side eye certain things. And I hope she does look into it more, even just for her own spiritual peace and knowledge about the situation. Just understanding that even more so than someone internally setting Charlie up, but literally his life for the last 8 years. I don't know why I just said 8 years. I don't know what's significant about 8 years, but it just came out of my mouth. So I would say the last 8 years, I guess Charlie was living this like alternate reality. And even if Charlie believed it was right or it was real, even if Erica did, I don't know. There's just so many weird things with government, mind control, people being set up. Like people are saying she could be a honeypot. That could be references to the bees. There's a lot of funny business going on, and I think Candace will get to the bottom of it. But anyways, we're going to start with the money path. So when I sat down, just getting an opening message for the direction that the reading was going to go today, I pulled out the main mail from the Kipper deck, and then I asked for a few archetypes. We got fault line and the self. I feel like the self came through at some point in one of his early readings, but the fault line and the self reminded me of that card where we had the parasite with the fragmentation. It was like the stone angel, and I was getting like concrete angel vibes with even the eternal child with the stone. And then we had the fragmentation, which was like a broken stone statue, and then we have fault line and the self. So then poet was here at the bottom. Oh, and agape, eternal love, the sword. Interesting. So anyways, I went to a chat GPT and I just said, what is a fragmented soul? And then, so I'm reading through, there's, different meanings, whether it's psychological, spiritual, or symbolic. But under the symbolic definition, it says it can be a poetic way of describing feeling broken, scattered, or not whole. Like someone has lost touch with their true self, their direction, or their purpose. So I felt like that was more so what was trying to be said here, just because the poet was here at the bottom, and it says this could be a poetic way of saying this, right? So that's what I took from that. So I'm wondering if in some way, like towards the end, that is kind of where he was feeling like he'd gotten away from his true self, or he had lost touch with his true purpose, or what was important to him. There was this fragmentation, I feel like, but it keeps coming back to himself. Like the idea of his soul being broken, and maybe he found out about certain things or certain people that weren't necessarily what he thought they were. In some way, he may have even been uncovering certain things behind the scenes and wasn't able to reconcile them with his own gut. Things he couldn't come out and say the same way that Candace may not be able to come out and say what she feels or thinks about Erica. But then I said, okay, why is this fragmented soul? Like, what happened here? Show me what this fragmented soul, why is your soul fragmented? And then I pulled out money path from the tea leaves, and I was going to put it back. I was going to just let that sit with me, because we've gotten money over and over and over and over again, which again is not that crazy, right? It's like, oh, you're not a psychic. Anyone could say it's the money. Of course, it's always the money. It's always evil. It's the root of all evil. We all know this. He had lots of money. That's so stupid. But like, it keeps coming out. It keeps coming out. So I'm going to keep saying it because it's what I'm being shown. I was going to put it back. I'm like, okay, I know this. The world knows this. We've gotten this in the cards before, but I just set it up here. I'm like, no. It's yet another confirmation that there's something to do with following the money. Following the money. And I'm debating on if I want to leave this out here. You know what? Let's just pull another one. My OCD will not let me. Let's grab another one here. Fair man, dealings or relationship with a man with blonde, gray, or white hair. I'm not going to say it. Y'all aren't going to say it. Nobody's going to say it. We're just going to let that resonate. I'll keep it out. But there was, oh man, like something that shattered his soul that had to do with money and dealings or a relationship with a man with blonde, gray, or white hair. That left him feeling lost in his purpose and who he was and what he was doing with all this money that was coming in. So my spirit team, possibly even Charlie himself, have decided that we're taking the money path that relates to a male, a fair male. All right, guys, buckle up, put on your tinfoil hats. Everything here is alleged. This isn't even my personal opinion. If I say it, it doesn't mean I agree with it. You guys probably won't ever know my political views, the way I feel about certain groups and things going on around the world. You guys, there's no reason for you to know, because I am always open to be shown a new way of believing, and I don't want to be held by anything I've said, because like I said, spirit sometimes chooses to show me a different way of thinking, and I will always remain open-minded and letting the Holy Spirit show me the truth. So my opinions will never come out. So just understand, these are not my views. These are not my opinions. I'm reading the energy the best of my knowledge. It's all alleged, not fact. Just craziness, okay? Crazy lady reading energy around smoke and mirrors. The smoke and mirror show. I'm gonna pull four honey hive Lenormands, and then we'll dive into very interesting. For the first two, we have Rider and the crossroads. This crossroads here kind of looks like this fault line, like being at the Rider. The person in the driver's seat, right? When you're driving, you come up to a crossroads. Look at this, 1 and 22 makes 23. Card 1 and 22 on this side. The person steering the vehicle was at a crossroads. Again, with the energy of a vehicle. Being at a crossroads, split between even this pathway. It's like you're on a pathway, you're at a crossroads, there's a clear split, and a decision needs to be made. You're in the driver's seat. You've come up to a decision point of the heart. The heart. The heart. Yeah, you're shattered. Your soul is shattered because you feel out of touch with your heart, what you truly believe. And then it's like you're at a crossroads. Do you continue or do you follow your heart? You're at a moral, you're having like a moral dilemma. Like, well, okay, it's like a make it or break it moment that has to do with a lot of money and possibly relations with powerful men. Tower is here at the bottom with the sun. The heart and the sun, again, giving me that, like, the heartbeat of an actual sun. The tower. The sun, maybe he chose to follow his heart and that caused a tower. Is that the tower is approaching a crossroads? You chose to follow your heart. You chose the light. You chose the right thing. You chose the light. There's light and dark. There's sun and moon. There's left and right. There's right and wrong. There's polarities. When you're at a crossroads And you have the heart and the light here. There's a tower at the bottom of that. It's like a crack in the foundation between money, wealth, status, power, and your true heart. But this money path bookending this energy has to do with a fair male, blonde, gray, white hair. This to me could just mean a Caucasian man, could literally be gray, white, blonde hair. It could just be a lighter skinned male. He was at a crossroads. Shout out the Drive clothing with the Marilyn Monroe. I don't know if you guys can see the bottom. She's like, her rib cage is showing down here with the skull. I love the shirt. Ooh, I just split it on karma and the heart. Something about suffering the consequences, something to do with, whoa, look at this. Wow. One of these must have gotten left in this stack when I cleaned up one day. Karma with the 8 of Swords, like you're stuck. This is the karmic consequence. You're trapped. They've taken you hostage type of energy, like karma in the heart. They held you captive by... You were being held captive. Your heart was held captive, or you were being held captive by somebody you love. That's crazy that was there. The 8 of Swords being trapped in your mind. That's even like worry. You're your own worst enemy. You can't get out of your head. You play things on a loop. It's like that energy of your thoughts working against you. Something about how he felt with himself morally and how it related to money. I was going to get one card for the middle to clarify what the heck was going on here, and then Tunnel just flipped out. Tunnel. This card sometimes speaks of like the light at the end of the tunnel. This could also be things going on underground, behind the scenes, things that aren't out in the open. This is like a unconventional route. If you're at a crossroads, it's like there's a path that has a lot of money, but it's unconventional. It's not mainstream. This is something that is secretive. It's underground. It's a light at the end of the tunnel. I'm gonna get 2 more of these cards and then we'll get into some tarot here. Show me the left side energy with money path, fault line, and the person in the driver's seat being at a crossroads. Look what was at the bottom. Target and coffin with a fairy. The tunnel. So the fairy, the first thing I thought of was the last reading I did for Erica was 1 hour, 14 minutes, and 14 seconds. And when I seen it, I'm like, 1:14:14. I was like, I wonder if there's something to do with like the number 14, because we're getting a lot of symbols and numerology coming up with Charlie, whether it be with the 47s on the hat, the 33s, the 1111s. The first couple I did for Charlie was like 48 seconds, or 48 minutes, 48 seconds, 50 minutes, 50 seconds. And then we had with Erica 1:14:14. And then seeing the 1:14 down here just reminded me how I'm wondering, like, okay, well, if I was getting like the 23, which we have 23 here, if 23 was important, then I found out, about the Masons and the Scottish Rite, and then the degrees of levels, and then I went to 23 and it was chief of the tabernacle, and then the tabernacle being the tent, all those things, how the numerology just continues to fall into place with this. So I was like, I wonder if 14 means anything, what 14 could mean. So just initially the first thing I thought of when I saw this was just that reading I did, which was highlighting Erica. So I don't know if there's either significance to her in this side of things or just significance to the number 14, whatever that means. Oh, 14th, he was born on the 14th. That's 114. I don't know. What I also learned was that 47 is not just the number of the presidency, that also translates to the number 11, but also the number 47 is like really important in geometry and masonry and this whole, I think it's called like 47 of Euclid, or there's like a whole thing about the Pythagorean theorem and the number 47 and how it's the fundamental something for building something, I don't know, like whole symbology, numbers, mathematics, geometry is all fucking crazy and way over my head because I'm a simple minded everyday person who is not mathematically inclined whatsoever. I actually really love geometry though, and geometry just on a spiritual level has really been speaking to me lately, and I don't know if it's just because I'm supposed to be learning more about this stuff so I can come on here and know more about what the heck I'm talking to you guys about, but even in my channeled writings I do a lot of geometrical type stuff. And I'll have to go back, at least a couple years now with different things I've channeled that are just crazy, and how this idea of sacred geometry just keeps being introduced into my orbit for whatever reason. But again, here we are. The number 47, with that being in front of him, is a very, very, very special Masonic number. Not just because of the presidency, and maybe if Trump himself was a Mason, like you guys say, and he was high up in this organization. Some people say he went to 32nd or 33rd degree. I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever know the facts on that. But I did think it was pretty ironic that Trump wasn't the 46th president, but was the 47th. So that would be very significant to him. If he was quote unquote a Mason, he would want that spot because of the significance with the number. And we could all be living in a Freemason simulation for all I freaking know, guys. But there's something here with numbers clearly. And then when I see the fairy and it just takes me back to the numbers as it relates to Erica, we also see target and coffin. Dude, shut up. The key is number 33. Oh, the fucking air conditioner just kicked on. I hate it when it does that. So the target, death, he was targeted. We see a fairy over here. I don't know what that means. You guys will not believe what's underneath this. Card 66. Magnifying the 33, like multiplying it, magnifying the key being this group. That is insane. The target with the death, I believe, was his own people. If he was a Mason, if he was involved in this group, there was somebody inside the organization, inside of his group, inside of his fraternity, inside of his family, whatever have you. He was the target. He was killed by one of his own people. And there's the magnifier underneath that, magnifying, yes, doubling the 33. The 33 right underneath the target in the coffin. What are the odds, guys? And then chaos being under that. Chaos. House under that. The tower under that. You guys have got to be freaking kidding me with the woman. Okay, holy shit. We're gonna just do this one by one. Hang on a second here. House was under that with the tower. Oh wait, hang on. This one. Chaos. House. The house is falling. The tower coming down, and then the woman beneath that. So if you go this way, we have woman in the house, a tower moment, chaos ensues after the tower comes down, magnifying the key being 33 for the death, a target. Wow, I feel like the bottom of this deck just said everything. That's absolutely insane. And there's that dog again, dog and bee, the tree, the dog, and the bee. Dog is a friend, the bee is somebody you work with, and the child. Phoenix rising, the child. Remember? Oh shit, fuck. Well, now the child's on the floor, but Phoenix rising. Like the karma is he's going to come back. He's going to rise. He's going to come back through a child. Oh my god, I don't know, I'm getting out of hand. Hang on. Okay. Wow, okay. Let's pull some more cards because now I probably only have like Yeah, 15-ish more minutes. Wow. Holy Spirit, Charlie, you're here. I mean, I just feel his presence all the time. I just don't know if I want to flat out do channeling of him yet. But I mean, Charlie, of course, if you're here, you're welcome to utilize this space. But Holy Spirit, tell us more about what you're trying to say here. What is going on? Can you give me a card for the self, the fair man, the heart, and the sun? Show me what's going on. I was just going to say what's going on this side of the table, but this card fell over on this side. So I don't know if that means this is the card for this side or if this is clarifying the fairy. Let me just think for a second. Okay, I think this card's supposed to be over here. I just put my hand on the card, I closed my eyes, and I seen like a glowing orb over on like the left side of my eye. So I'm assuming this card is supposed to be here, and maybe it's going to say something about the fairy, but we'll see. The mountain. Interesting. Like, that's somebody looking at a huge obstacle. It's like this rider. He's on his motorcycle, right? He's looking at this crossroads. He's looking at this mountain. He's like, holy shit. This is a big moment. This is a big decision. This is a big mountain. But with fairy, it's like feeling like you can fly. I know that isn't even the meaning of this card, but to me it feels like this peace that comes over you when you have a big decision to make and you see this huge mountain and you feel light and you're like, I can just fly over the mountain. I have wings. Like that's what I was feeling. It's like this big, heavy, immovable object, like a mountain, an obstacle. And then it's just like, but you're a fairy, you have wings and you can just fly right over it. That's how that was feeling. That's very interesting. Okay, so now we're going to pull 2 cards for this side. So Holy Spirit, give me 2 cards for the sun and the heart over here. The self, fair man. Flipped out over here also. Again with the book. People looking, owls are supposed to be wise, very smart, looking at books in the candlelight. So looking at something secretly is what that's giving me. Secretly, like underground, they're looking at something, looking into something, watching something. Why is owls here? This is card 21 and this is 12. This is a mirroring number for this mountain, this owl. Again, a winged creature. An owl can just fly right over a mountain. What is this with the wings? Okay, so 21 and 12. Again, with numbers being important and then the mirroring effect. Ooh, scythe is on the floor. Oh, a death because of somebody looking at the books closer? What card is that? Card 10? Okay, I can't see it, but it's the Reaper card with scythe. Give me one more. Tower is at the bottom again. And look at 19 is the tower here. Tower at the bottom of both decks, the Lenormand and the Shadows. The ring flipped out over here, and look at this mountain behind the ring. The ring speaks of commitments, an obstacle to something you committed to, a ring. A ring could also be like a ring of people, an organization. And the boy. The boy, the sun, the heart, again, the ring, a commitment. The boy, the self. If he reincarnates into literally his son and he has another son that has fair skin, maybe even is blonde, like if his other son is a brunette and then let's say Erica is pregnant or ends up having another child, or they ended up I mean, shit, I don't put anything past anybody. It could be like, oh, we knew this could happen. We had his eggs fertilized, or, you know, she could be pregnant now, or whatever the case may be. If whatever, something comes out of some sort of birth of something that has to do with Charlie. There's like the son, the boy, the ring, the heart, the self, this boy, this person, however he comes about, whether a new marriage or she's pregnant or IVF, whatever it is. If he's like a blonde child, I feel like this is just one more way of saying it's probably not random or coincidence, and it could very likely be Charlie saying he's coming back. And I wouldn't read it that way. I would normally read that as either a younger person or even his younger self. I know even with Epstein, I was getting a lot of energy around like youth, but I was reading it as his own youth, his own childhood, and I'm not feeling that here. I'm feeling this energy of him coming back youthful, coming back I don't know, guys. You guys don't think I'm crazy, but let me get one card here. I don't know. I want to clarify with Mildred Payne, but I also want to get a few tarot cards out here. All right, let's see. Can I get one card for the main male with the tunnel? The maternity card. Do you see that? Mother and pregnancy. As I was just saying, I think he's coming back. Leader, influencer, coach, social media. This is exactly who he was. Coach, influencer, leadership, teacher, kids, church, school, marketing. This is exactly everything that Charlie was. And then we're talking about pregnancy, possibly coming back. And here it is. Underneath that is the queen bee. Queen bee might be pregnant with a boy that will be the soul of Charlie Kirk. Call me crazy. That says May, so what would May be? If she was pregnant in September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, she would be due in May. If she was pregnant in September, found out she was pregnant, or like within the early weeks in September, she would have had to have been, right? She would be due in May. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. So if you guys really want to go down a rabbit hole with me, if you guys remember, I keep talking about the rise of females in power and a strange alliance. If you guys go back to the Princess, that song Princess Protection Program came on. We were talking about Norway and Europe, and you know, this idea of like a queen coming into power, or a queen being crowned queen, and then like this idea that Erica is Swedish and they have kings and queens there, and that's where she comes from, and everyone's saying she's going to be the next president, or she'll be elected vice president, or somehow she has this significant role in politics. And then so the fact that we might even have this woman that potentially, as they're claiming it, Erica in the next 10 years, 20 years, whatever, comes into like political power, it's an alliance between like queens. So let's say she is crowned. No, she wouldn't be crowned. She's a beauty queen, but like, let's go down the rabbit hole that she does end up going into politics and somehow finds herself president of the US at the same time that Sweden or somewhere else is crowned a queen, you know. And I think it's what, Queen Victoria is who I googled right before this started. It's like, and then this alliance with like these queens coming into power, whether it's like when William takes over, and this like Catherine, Victoria, Erica alliance that kind of reshapes what the world is doing. Like, it could be crazy, guys. Like, we'll go down that conspiracy eventually, but I thought it was crazy how Norway and like Frozen was coming up with that blonde, you know, and I was like, okay, where's Elsa from? And it's like Norway, and its idea, this like queen, and I don't know. It's crazy seeing how all this played out and what people are projecting for Erica's political future and how that'll look. I think that would just be absolutely insane if we were picking up on that, like, before I even know who the hell Charlie Kirk was, right? So anyways, let's choose good old Edgar Allan Poe. get a few cards out here. I'm still not sure what all this is. The mountain, the ferry, the tunnel. Okay, it's like, oh, okay. I just need to get my shit together. This crossroads, it's like you can go over the mountain or under the mountain. It's this idea of, I'm feeling like a game plan. Like somebody's in a position where they're like, okay, how do I get through this obstacle? It's like you're looking at this crack in the foundation. You can either go over it or under it. It's like you climb the mountain or you go under the mountain. And then it's like the researching, looking into, or somebody was looking into like an underground ring. This could be the PDF rings, could be many different things, right? That's just what came to me when I thought of like ring, like an organization, a group of people, they call them a ring. Looking into something, but this idea of going under a mountain, bypassing it, is easier than climbing it. But you can go over it if you have wings, to where you don't have to go through the dark, wet tunnel. There's a mountain here too, though. It's like in Finding Nemo when they're going through, what was it, like the jellyfish or something? They say, you know, you don't go through it. I forget what it actually says in the movie. Is it like go over it or under it or something like that? It's kind of what I'm feeling. Give me 3 cards for what this energy is on going over the mountain. We went over the mountain. 3 cards for the path of going over the mountain. The High Priestess, like going above somebody's head or trying to go, okay, going over the mountain is like going above somebody. It would be like going to somebody's boss's boss, like you're going above the problem. You're not facing the problem. Like if you have an issue with your boss at work, you're not going directly to the boss and being like, hey, we have a problem. It's like, I'm going to go to your boss's boss. But it's, look at, that's the 10 of Swords. That is an energy of betrayal, but it's also like a final ending. And then, so we have the 10 of Swords with the 10 of Cups. This is the family card. This is the home card. This is betrayal in the home. And then this is a card of like moving away, like having to either move your family because they're in danger. If you choose this route, it's like going over the mountain would put your family in danger. So moving, kind of like the early energy before I found out that Erica could just have more involved in this than we initially thought. It's like this energy of wanting to protect your family by like having them move or, okay, going over the mountain is dangerous. To the family would have to cause a move of something to move secretly, like moving in silence. This is the High Priestess. Moving quietly because your family would then be in danger if you go over the mountain. Okay, let's see what going under the mountain looks like. Show me the tunnel. 3 cards for the tunnel. Strength card. Courage. Or being forced. Temperance. Compromise. You'd be forced to compromise. Queen of Pentacles. The Hermit is a hiding energy. The idea of the tunnel itself is underground. It's hiding. All 3 of these are females on the cards. The Strength card with the stone lion is a female. The Temperance. Oh, a fairy again. What is this energy of fairy? The Temperance here is not an angel, it's a fairy. We have the fairy here looking at the tunnel, and then clarifying the tunnel is the fairy, bringing 2 things together, compromising on something. This is mixing light and dark. It's deciding to go gray. But you would have to force yourself to compromise. Queen of Pentacles. What is this? There's a scarab on her fan with a pentacle. Okay, let me get 3 more over here for owls in the ring, and then we'll clarify with a few of the Mildred Paynes, because there is some things I still want to clarify here. Spirit, show me owls with the ring. It's looking like a ring of people either looking into something or finding out about something here. Seven of Pentacles with Justice. This gives me King Solomon energy. King Solomon. Looking into something. Like there's going to be legal. This big old sun card behind here with the sun up here. It's like a ring of people is getting found out about, and maybe there's like legal consequences, but it's going to take time. It's a slow process. It's a slow process, but things are slowly coming to light as people are looking into something. Let's get one more. What are the owls looking into, or what is somebody finding out about the owls? What is coming to light in this group? This ring. What is coming to light? It's way too many, but the 2 that flipped over. Oh, well, I guess. Okay, well, the 10 of Wands is burdens. Having a lot of pressure, being under pressure, and having a deadline. Like you're coming up on a deadline. You have to make a decision here. This Rider is at a crossroads. There is a decision to be made. But the King of Swords comes next, and this even has the word Rue Morgue on it. You guys can see that. The Morgue, the King of Swords, the decision. It's like a foolish decision. Time's up. It's like you can get on this boat or this boat, but you're approaching a deadline. There's a crossroads, there's a split decision, there's a path opening up. You choose left or you choose right. You're having to make a moral decision here. You're at a crossroads. You're debating if you should go over the mountain, under the mountain, through the mountain, flying over the mountain. Whatever you're doing, you're running out of time here, but then in due time something is found out. So what are the owls finding out, or what is coming to light with this Sun card? 9 of Swords. Maybe something comes out about threats against his kids, his children. Because look at the 2 up here. Those look evil, right? And then he has a boy and a girl. I see 2 kids down here. 6 of Cups. And then there's like stress, anxiety, nightmares, like threats against his kids. Maybe that's something that comes out soon, is, you know, people looking into this find out all these threats that were made against his children possibly. And that's why it's like the option is either secretly move the family, leave, or we compromise, we do this, and then we're safe. Or it's like there's consequences here. And even the Sun, the heart, protecting the children. Yeah, I just said protecting the children. I pick up the 6 of Cups and the 7 of Wands, protecting children. Maybe a ring. They're looking into a ring where children were being hurt. There was something found out about a ring. Maybe a PDF ring. Protecting children could be something going on over here. Sleepless nights and anxiety about what you found out about something, someone. I know there's allegations against Romanian angels and what that whole thing was about. I mean, that could be something that came to light. Look at this. High Priestess at the bottom with Page of Cups, which is children. Knight of Swords, which is somebody who's reckless. Could be angry, dangerous, impulsive. I know this reading here is kind of all over the place, guys, but there's something about a crossroads and a mountain and going over the mountain, under the mountain, following your heart or compromising your beliefs. You either compromise or you follow your heart, and that had deadly consequences for Charlie. But in some way it was like protecting the kids, protecting the family. There was a need to protect something. But I also see the energy here of because of the path that he chose and the decision that he made, he may be granted a second chance here to come back and finish this work that was left unfinished in whatever way that looks like for him, and how he chooses to come back. It could be through Erica, his sister, somebody. The book. There's something about a book. I know people say he has a book coming out. I wonder if there's going to be something in the book that's significant. I feel like putting this here. The main male in the book. Either that or he read something or he wrote something. I know they said they found a bunch of diaries, and Erica is going to try to say that he, left her all these. Well, I read it. I read this morning something about Erica saying that Charlie left her the blueprints for what he wants done and where the budget should go. So whatever she's going to say is going to be like, this is what Charlie wanted. He wrote it. I read it in the books. But it could be also like he read something, he found something. Again, maybe even just looking at the books of the company, or he found something out that put him in a compromised position to make a moral decision. Okay, well, let's just ask. Even the poet, it's like a book of poetry, or like a hidden message, if he used to write poems. Or Spirit, clarify the book with main male. Devil at the bottom with octopus. This is giving me like sticky fingers. Like there was a lot of sticky fingers in the books. The devil, greed, sticky fingers. That's also like octopuses love, they're very, very smart. They like to solve puzzles. They're escape artists. With the book, it's like a very evil plan. An escape artist, puzzles, sticky fingers, a book. Clarify. Ooh. That was but I was going to say clarify money path. Clarify money path. That's a lot of money. That could be foreign money. 88 here. Oh, shit. 88 here. 66 here. 44 here. 44, 66, 88. Scarab with money path. That's like giving me this, the scarab with the pentacle. The woman with the pentacle, the queen. The scarab, the money path, foreign money, Eastern money, Egyptian money, old money, gold money, so much shit that could mean, right? The moon, secret, old money. Card 14 again. The diamonds, literally gold. Oh my god, in my Europe prophecy, that comes out too, with like money, something being shit. Okay, I have like a few seconds. Let's move a little quicker. Clarify fair man. Ooh, hello. Fish. Fair man with fish and cauldron. I mean, I'm sure the fish wouldn't like to be in the cauldron. Fish. Fair man and fish. Oh, card 41. That's mirrored to card 14. And then we just see 14 at the bottom with the moon, and now we have 41. Something about the mirror is important here. The fish here. Oh my god, the fish here means pregnancy. I was like, why did I feel called to open the book on this one? I have no idea. I'm already in a hurry. Look at this. Shut up. With the boy, the pregnancy, and 4 and 1 make 5. Look at this. Holy frick my life. 4 and 1 is 5. The fish means pregnancy. I have 5 here. It would be due in May. And when I get the boy, I feel like he's coming back, being reincarnated through a pregnancy, possibly coming back with fair hair, blonde, or lighter complexion than he's used to. Like the heartbeat, the sun, a heartbeat. And wow. Okay, fish means pregnancy. That also represents good fortune. May represents suspicion. A suspicion, pregnancy, unconscious thoughts, good fortune, or suspicion. Suspicious about a fair man. So this could have multiple meanings, guys, but that also makes a 5. Suspicions about a fair man with a lot of money, possibly not native. Clarify the tunnel. The eye. What card do we have? Oh, we have, okay, scythe at the bottom, which is the number 10. And then we have the eye here. So the tunnel. Eyes underground. Controlled and watched. Underground eyes. With the pentacle at the bottom again. So much energy around the pentacle. 3 and 7 also make 10, which makes a 1. Now we have double 1s. We have the pentacle, we have the eye, we have the tunnel. Things going on underground. Somebody's seen something happening underground with money. And then having a moral decision to make about that. Like the ooh. And then door with 33, the red door. Oh my god, you'll never believe this. Look, I can see devil with the crystal ball, the door, and the pentacle just at the table. Somebody seen what the devil was doing behind closed doors, again with the number 33, with money. All goes back to money. Money is the root of all evil, and somebody seen something they shouldn't have. What is the fairy? Why do we have the fairy here twice looking at the tunnel? What is... Ooh, that was a little trickery there. The arrow. Another card of 10. Arrow. Snake. And time. Clarify, why is the fairy here twice? The witch's hat. Self-image or identity. The double fairies, the mirroring of the numbers, the mirrored images, the smoke and mirrors, the hat, which is the self-identity, the self, the fracturing of the self, the feeling like you don't even know who you are anymore. Your identity, a career choice or a role one plays in your life. A career choice, self-image, a shattering of your soul, your true purpose and who you are. You feel like you don't even recognize yourself. A career choice. A career choice. You go over the mountain or under the mountain. Okay, what are the owls here for? What are the owls looking at in the book? Card 23 with the flower. The flower. And the ring. The ring is a commitment. The flower. 23. They find something out about Erica. The ring, the flower, the owls. Justice. Why is justice here with the owls? You guys saw the way that that just flipped out like that. That was so smooth and so fast. And here's the fucking pentacle again. Something's going on with the money, a commitment, a female, something to do with justice, and looking at the books closer, following the money. Card 23. This is a bleeding rose, the pentacle. A slow drip of money. Finding something out, maybe like legal charges get brought against somebody within his company. Clarify boy over there with pregnancy. Oh, tip of the iceberg with a storm. Tip of the iceberg. And a storm. With the ship here. Where'd it go? There's a ship needing to make a decision. But this, like, there's an iceberg, you can't go under it. If you're on a ship, you either go around it, you go left or right instead of over or under. With a mountain, you can go over or under through like a cave. With an iceberg, if you're on a ship, you're gonna go left or right. And then a storm, what does that even mean? The spider is feminine energy. Poison. The rat poison, look at this. The shell, something's hiding in a shell. There's rat and there's a poison with a feminine. We only see the tip of the iceberg, but it's like a storm is brewing. All of that for... Ooh, look at this. I was gonna say all of this for the boy and the pregnancy, that doesn't make sense. And then look at the 3 cards that just flipped out here. The girl with the fetus and a chalice. Time. That's wild, guys. That's absolutely wild. I am already way over the amount of time that I was supposed to have, but for the sake of tradition, let's go ahead and pull a final oracle card. I don't know, this was crazy energy, and I don't know that we really got to the bottom of it, but it really looks like a highlight on pregnancy, a son, and again, looking closer at money, the pentacles, sticky fingers, finding something out, looking closer at a book. There's options here. There's crossroads. There's decisions to be made, or a decision was made. There's a lot of energy about a tower coming down and justice being served. The power of 3. We see a feminine with 3 wolves around her with dragon beauty. I'm going to take neither of these and get one final card, but just in case they come back out. Holy Spirit, wrap up this reading and give us one final message, kind of tying it all together. The house is divided. I just heard in my head, like the organization, people are going to be walking away from it. The house is divided. I feel like there's a split also with Charlie and all the different organizations that he has, and I feel like either there's going to be a cleaning of house, whether voluntary or involuntary. I don't know if the good ones are going to be asked to leave, or people are choosing to leave because they're not going to like what they see, or they're going to get spooked about information that comes out and they're going to start resigning or putting in their notices. There's something also maybe as it relates to the justice system, or being asked to leave the company, or like there's a split in the house as well in terms of the company. I'm seeing that. Again, a free way to support the channel and show your love here, guys. You can like the video, subscribe if you haven't, drop a comment, say hello, share this video with your friends. Thank you again to everyone who continues to shout out the channel on other channels. I appreciate you guys so much. Last, before I wrap this up, I also am opening up private readings for October, which is spooky season. It is going to be awesome. You don't want to miss all the crazy magic that we're going to have surrounding us in October. So if you want to book a private reading, I'm only going to take a handful because I'm going into my busy season at work, but I am opening it up for now for at least, I don't know, I might take 10 private readings for the whole month of October. I have about 3 on my calendar right now. So once I get through those 3 this weekend, I will be taking about 10 more. So email me if you would like a private reading in the month of October. I will give you more details. And the final card here, we have Immortal Flight. Let's read it, and then I will let you guys go. Have a beautiful weekend. That's not where I'm reading from. Deception. Hello. Main male, book, octopus, deception. With money path, money, affair, male, career, good fortune. Oh, suspicion, deception, money, Okay. Deception. A fairy sits. Another fairy. We have fairy, fairy, fairy now. What does that even mean? There's a fairy in his energy. I know that's freaking bizarre, guys, but humor me for a minute. What does that mean, that there's a fairy in the mix? Okay, a fairy sits beside a pool. Bathed in blue, she reaches out to the water and illuminates a skeleton beneath the surface. Calm and composed, you might think that she has good intentions, but nothing could be further from the truth. The faint image of a skull can be glimpsed in her wings if you look carefully. This fairy is deadly. Oh no! We have betrayal in the house. We have a fairy. We have deception. We have you may think she has good intentions, but that's the furthest from the truth, and this fairy is deadly. She is a symbol of both the seen and unseen. We can view only what she cares to show us. Her true intentions might be hidden. The skull, unrecognizable at first glance, represents what lies beneath. The motives of someone in your environment could be under question. Is a friend or colleague telling you something quite different from what they truly believe? Does your intuition suggest that you should not trust a situation? If this card occurs in your reading, it could be a warning that deception is near or that someone is hiding something from you. This is a time to do a little research before making any big commitments. When in shadow, immortal flight can describe the unfaithful, the dishonest, and those intending to compromise or mislead you. The trickery, the puzzles, deception. Somebody has bad intentions for you. Trust your intuition when they tell you not to trust a situation. This fairy is deadly. There's something going on beneath the surface, things that are hiding, things that aren't truthful, people that have bad intentions for you. A warning that deception is near or there's people hiding something from you. And again, a lot of energy around a female. And a lot of money, and a lot of money. Even here with the ring, the commitment, the flower, and the pentacle. Holy shit. I mean, the more I look into this, the more I think somebody literally within his home, the person that he laid his head down next to and shared his innermost secrets with, the person he would have told, hey, I'm not feeling right about this. Hey, I don't trust this person. Hey, I think we should do this. The person he confided in the most, I believe, is the person that ended up deceiving him, or she said something to somebody that caused this. Whether she knew it was going to happen or not, I don't really know. I can't speculate. She definitely could just be a grieving wife, and I could have it all wrong here, but it could also be the fact that maybe he said something to her that she took to somebody else and said, hey, we have a problem here, because he would have trusted her more than anybody. But was she acting as the fairy? Did she have deadly intentions here? I mean, I will show you guys the book if you want to pause and read it yourself. That is crazy. Deception. Last and final comment about this is the Jezebel thing with the hexes. Candace also mentioned in her last live that Erica was so concerned that she called a priest over because a woman of faith believed so strongly in her heart that witches on Etsy could literally put a hex on her husband that she called a priest over to pray with him the night before he was assassinated is fucking bullshit. Call it for what it is. I'm not going to fault Candace for not calling it what it is because I don't know that she will ever be able to. But if your wife calls over a priest to pray with you, I'm just going to flat out say it. She might know you're about to die. She may just be conflicted morally and was like, at least I could do is have a priest pray with him so I feel better about him going into his death tomorrow. But she did not believe no witches and hexes on Etsy. Etsy of all places. This was no underground website. This was not an underground website where you paid real witches who do real spooky things. It was Etsy, guys. It's like, haha, send me money, I'll hex Charlie Kirk. And she was so worried. And of all the timing, right? Of all times, this priest comes and prays with him the night before. Not a week before, not 3 months before, not a week before, the night before. And Erica's the one that was so concerned she called the priest in. Come on, guys, we gotta look deeper. We gotta look deeper. There's deception here. There's a beautiful fairy with the skull in her wings and her hand over somebody's face that she is pushing into the water. It's sus. It's sus to us, right? Shout out Crime Circus. It's sus to us, Erica. Candace, look a little closer. If you're not already feeling that little niggle, maybe you should just dig a little bit deeper, even for your own knowledge, whatever you choose to do with that. I mean, I feel like we might start to see little signs of her being a little skeptical about the person he laid his head down with. But I mean, I guess we'll find out, guys. Let's keep watching her lives and see what else ends up coming out about anything else we're reading on. Keep an eye on your guys' emails. I will be sending you the person you're going to be booing. And then again, when you guys get your boo baskets, please post them in the community so we can all participate in the fun and see what you guys are getting. I love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in today, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.